Did you know your stomach would digest itself if it didn't grow a new lining every few days?
Ugh. I actually did not know that. Tell me
I
more.
actually didn't know that either. I was asking ChatGPT for a fact to start our episode with, but no, that's actually crazy. Your stomach acid is actually so strong it can dissolve metal, obviously. So your body literally regenerates the inside of your stomach every 3 to 4 days just to survive. So you basically get a new stomach lining every 3 to 4 days.
Oh man, so that just probably means that there's I mean, I know it's not like the contents of your stomach, but I'm sure like a little bit of hot fry slip every now and then.
Well, like through the lining?
Yeah, like would you think that like the food that we eat like kind of gets like kind of sucked into that at some point?
Like
Or like
the
absorbs it?
foods destroy the lining. Well, I mean, if our stomachs can essentially dissolve metal, or cat fell here, then yeah, I mean, it can take hot fries.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to, the way we have our mic set up now, I feel like I have to hold it like this, like
Yeah, and I like
like I'm a
just
boxing announcer.
and I should
Ladies and gentlemen,
you're like, let's
boys and
get ready
girls,
to rumble.
let's get ready to rumble. All right, it's time. All right,
You like gotta get that out of my system.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's just really crazy. So like how are we supposed to know? One thing I was just gonna add too is how are we supposed to know like if our stomach lining doesn't regenerate?
I didn't go that far to ask Chat GPT. What if
I'm
that's
sure.
like, is that part of a condition? Like, would it be that you have a medical condition? Like, at that
Possibly.
point, you're like, I can't regenerate my stomach, doc.
Yeah.
My stomach is not regenerating. What do I do?
What
Something like
medicine
that.
do I take?
Yes, here's this regenerative pill.
Here's a stomach in a bottle.
Anyway, we can move on for that. Welcome to the CayVin Universe podcast. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate you sticking around and just listen to us blabber and, be a part of your day. So, yes, thank you very much. What do you want to talk about? So, last week we had Podception. Last
Yeah.
week we had our topic episode. So, this week we're catching up on news, pop culture, what's going on around the world. Yeah.
I think okay, so yesterday I saw this crazy documentary and I just feel like I have to tell you about it. So it's called The Perfect Neighbor. It's new out on Netflix now. Basically, true story, this neighbor from hell essentially literally terrorizes the neighborhood kids and it all ends with her basically one of these kids' moms and her and it end up being like this whole thing. Are you familiar with like the stand your ground laws?
Yeah, right. Yeah. And what state was this in?
Florida.
This lady is like the ultimate Karen, essentially, right?
Yes, it was actually funny like to see because the whole documentary I've never seen anything filmed like this. Usually you think a documentary like interviewing people like who have been a part of the situation, but like 90 I would say 95% of this whole thing was body cam footage and police interrogation video. So it just basically showed like when the cops were getting called to this neighborhood multiple times over, these kids are out here running around and screaming and it's just unacceptable. Just little shit like that. It just makes you like and that's one thing I would advise too is like if you tune into this documentary, just know you're like going to get like immensely angry and like super sad all in the span of an hour and a half. Like it's just totally crazy and I just highly recommend it. I just love good true crime documentaries. Just love to talk about it.
Yeah, yeah. Is that what else have we been watching lately? What else has been going on? We're gonna talk about news and stuff going on around the world. Let's talk about some television.
Well, last we talked mainly about television was that we were really into Everybody Hates Chris.
Oh yeah,
We
I
still
know
kinda
that was
do
a
that.
random throw out there,
Yeah.
but hey, when I look back, I was gonna make a clip about that, but then I was like, wait, like nobody's watching that show in 2025, so why is it even worth making a clip out of it?
Hey, you never know. There
Yeah,
could
that's
still
why we need
be-
feedback. Let us know, and
Yes.
even when weeks like this, like if we don't have a topic episode or we don't have a guest episode, we're just gonna do this essentially. Just go over things. So if you have any topics, anything you want us to deep dive into, yeah, anything just that you want to share, I don't know, just hit us up and let us know so
Yeah.
we can have more things to talk about. But we do have a long list today.
Yeah.
So okay, this perfect neighbor. What ended up happening to this lady? Spoiler alert.
Yes.
I want to know because it's already making me mad. I know I was watching clips and stuff, and I don't think I ever asked you about the ending.
No, the ending was actually the greatest ending in documentary history. No, I'm just kidding. Not
It was
exaggerating.
that
But
unsolved
I just-
mystery ending where they're like, you're investing the whole episode, and they're like, this never went solved.
I know. I never get like I go into unsolved mysteries knowing what the whole thing is, and I still get pissed at the end. I'm like, what? just waste my time. But no, so yeah, I was actually hoping I wasn't going to like finish this and just become more mad at the end, like, oh, she got off, this and that. But happy to announce that this lady's gonna be in prison for the rest of her life. It
Wow.
was, yeah, these detectives, they put in their work and they pulled out the receipts of how she was familiar with the stand your ground law, like basically, self defense. And that was one thing that she kept saying throughout the whole thing. I feared for my life, feared for my life. But like I said, they had receipts, and yep, she's sitting in jail now.
Wow. Still? Uh,
Yeah, she was just convicted in 2024. She was
oh
sentenced to
wow.
she was sentenced to 25 years. So she was already looking
Dang.
rough after spending a year in prison.
Oh
Like I guess
boy.
through from being arrested to like remember I was like this fat bitch, and then literally by the end I'm like, ooh, jail really did a number on her because
Oh
she's a
man.
like skinny now. So
Yeah. Dang. That's yeah. And I bet just. I mean, I would hope other than jail, I would hope just the guilt of what she did
oh,
is weighing on her. No pun intended. Enough.
this lady did not show an ounce of remorse throughout the entire thing.
Okay. Well, there goes that.
Yeah. No, that's like literally where the like immense anger part comes in. Is like, yeah, you just be fully prepared. You're gonna want to literally, just go through the screen. But I still think it's like a good watch, and yeah.
Dang. Well, at least justice was served.
So while we're still on the topic on TV, what are your thoughts on like what South Park is doing right now? Because South Park is like I would say what was a staple. Like we always had it on. You had it on in your childhood. You were familiar with it. I was not allowed to watch South Park, let's say. So
Really?
now, yeah, it was just one of those, yes, shows, obviously, for very obvious reasons why I wasn't allowed to watch South Park. But, now as an adult, like, I love the show. And, like, yeah, I just feel like they're, like, falling off. And I just want to hear your opinion as an OG South Park fan.
Well, yeah. My oldest. Luckily, I was a younger brother, so my oldest brother, who's 12 years older, got me then into South Park. But I don't know, man. Like, what are they doing? It's like it just, like you said, it's a staple. It's a part of pop culture. But it just goes to show that nothing can beat Father Time because eventually everything just becomes stale and kind of irrelevant. And this new season of South Park is like ending after 5 episodes, and it's like apparently because they had a lot of stuff about Charlie Kirk, so they had to cut all that out. So that ended up being 5 episodes. But it's like, then why go so political then? Like,
Mhm.
I understand South Park has always been like what's going on in pop culture at that time. That's why a lot of old South Park episodes are great, but a lot of old South Park episodes is kind of, just weird to go back to because it's specifically talking about a certain person or a certain time in that you're just not relating to because we're obviously not in that time. So yeah, it's South Park has always been about what's going on in society and what's going on in pop culture and things like that. But let's face it, Trey Parker and Matt Stone, like just like anybody, I love them, but they're in their 50s and they've been millionaires since the early 2000s. Like they're kind of out of touch with reality. So, and I know there's writers and stuff like that, but it seems like all the topics are completely out of touch. I mean, I understand they love, they love video games and they love talking about like
Yeah.
it doesn't mean you have to make that the whole identity of the show. I feel like the show started falling off around the Integrity Farms time. It's like, yeah, a few episodes about Integrity Farms was great, but it's like, yes, you can love but not make it about everything
Mm-hmm.
like that.
I totally agree. Yeah, that whole like chunk, it was like a whole season that they did, and it was directly like, we saw hardly less of the kids, and it was mainly on Randy.
Yes, which is like I said, it was great here and there, but it's like to make a whole season out of that, and then it's like,
I wish they would take a step back and actually say, let's make it what we used to be, is what I would think. And I feel like if they went more of like an approach, like let's take like SNL for example. They go and they like vaguely like make fun. They're on national television and they have like a lot of like stuff that they can't say or do, but in for the most part they will take like everyday or like current events that have happened and like find a way to like make fun. So I feel like if they South Park can easily kind of do that with current events. Like you said, they just kind of tend to steer towards everything political, and there's other stuff happening in the world that I feel like they can kind of make fun of and like be up if they want to about it with some things.
And that's what it is. Like the latest episode, like with the whole 6-7. Okay,
Mhm.
perfect. That's a perfect type of South Park episode. Something about something in pop culture that's popular at this time. That's great.
Mhm.
A great reference to what's going on and things that are big right now. But maybe if you go back to the 6-7 episode 10 years from now, it may not work as good. But like I said, there's many episodes like. For example, the Nintendo Wii episodes. There's a few episodes about the Nintendo Wii. That's probably, looking back, those are probably my favorite South Park episodes because it's so nostalgic for me because it reminds me of a certain place and time in my life. Like when I watched that episode when it premiered and I had a Nintendo Wii and it was just, it was freaking awesome. I don't know. It was just an
Yeah.
awesome reference for that point in time. And I just love those episodes because of that. And by the way, everything I'm saying about South Park, if you weren't there to watch the South Park movie in theaters, then you can't come at me because me and my brothers were there watching South Park Bigger, Better, Longer, and Uncut in theaters, and you weren't there. If you weren't there, then you don't know what you're talking about. Don't come
Yeah.
at me with South Park. Anyway, but I mean, I love. Yeah, like I said, love the South Park is probably going to go down as one of the best shows of all time. Definitely Mount Rushmore for sure. But like I said, let's face it, Matt and Trey are in a different they're different area in life than a lot of people. You know, they've been out of the loop. They're getting older. You know, they have their families. They're focusing more on other investments. And other things that they're doing. And like I said, let's face it, they've been millionaires since the early 2000s. So it's like nothing wrong with that. Capitalism's great, but it's like you just eventually get kind of out of touch with reality and what people want. So it's just like that's what I think. They just focus. They're trying too much now with what they know they have to push so much of their agenda and what they think that it's like it just seems watered down to what it was before.
Yeah, and I unfortunately think that could possibly be their downfall because how I like to think is like if I'm not watching it, then there's probably other people that probably are kind of jumping on that have been longtime South Park fans. They're kind of just getting out of it.
But maybe that's the other thing is because they whereas Comedy Central when they were on Comedy Central back in the day and they had 6 days to air and stuff, they were depending on those ratings. Now they just Paramount and them are like, okay, here's a freaking all this money for 10 episodes, and look, they didn't even have to deliver on the 10 episodes, and they're
Yeah.
still like, all right, you're good.
Yep.
Like we still gave you all this money. So it's like maybe that's another thing too that you just start like, okay, well then I'm not really rushing or caring what I'm putting out there.
Yeah, like they have literally just 1 week been like, oh, we don't have an episode. Well,
Like,
see you
sorry.
next week.
Yeah.
Like, what?
On the turntables. Did you want to talk about Taylor Swift's new album?
We can briefly. I mean, it's become one of my favorite Taylor Swift
Wow.
albums, and I was honestly just thinking to myself not that long ago before this whole thing came out is that feel like I'm no longer like a Swiftie, and like some of her past newest albums, I'm like some of her past newest albums, I like just I've only liked like a song here and there, but this album I like all the songs.
From a guy's perspective, I'm like, no. There's a few songs I like only because between you and Delilah, I'm forced to listening to them. But honestly, I just think it's funny and ironic how like her original Swiftie fans are like shitting on this album, and it's like, like they're getting mad at the fact that like she's actually sounds a lot more mature in this album.
Yeah.
And it's like, what, guys? Did you think this was going to happen forever? Did you think it was going to be girl power? Screw the men. We're going to stay single forever? No.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift found someone. You're still single. Congratulations. So, no, I'm just kidding. I love you. Everybody deserves love, honestly. But so if you are and you want to find someone, I hope you do. But at the same time, it's like, come on, Swifties. You knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
I just think it's funny and ironic.
She sounds a lot happier in this album, and just more upbeat, and she's kind of, closing the door on certain things, and I just think it was really, really good. Really good.
All right, now we can move on from that.
Yes, sounds good.
All right, actually had to check if AI is getting so out of hand. I had a video that was a news video, but it was actually from verified like CNN or something, and I still didn't believe it. I still had to research and make sure that news video about this topic wasn't AI. It's just crazy. But apparently Long John Silver's is changing their logo. Yeah, look at that. Long John Silver's no fish logo. They're going to have a chicken on it.
Yeah.
Chicken and seafood. Honestly, This given, like somebody said in the comments, I'm not gonna steal somebody's comment, but this given IHOB vibes. Remember IHOB,
IHOB.
the National House of
Wow.
Burgers?
Yes, for sure. Because yeah, they tried. That's what basically that whole scheme was, trying to like capitalize on their burgers, and that's basically what Long John's is trying to do with their chicken. I mean, the
Yes.
chicken's better than the fish, but
Somebody in their marketing team was like, "Oh man, with this big thing with the Cracker Barrel logo change, like we should do a logo change." Like that's what it
yeah.
is. Because now look, there we were just talking about Cracker Barrel a few weeks ago. Now look, companies should do this. You really want to advertise? You really want to advertise yourself? Companies market yourself. Every company should do like a big logo change every like 2 to 3 months.
Good
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
But I was just gonna say too is that this picture actually kind of got me thinking, and it's that if their if they're if their if their plan is to change the logo, then if they change up the location too, because look, that doesn't look very like dirty fast foodish, you know. There's some places like that.
Are you just saying that
They
like
gotta revamp. They gotta have a
what do you
whole
mean?
new look.
You're saying there's no Long John Silver's in nice places?
No, I'm saying the building, like their look
true,
hasn't their look
yes.
hasn't been good
Well,
this
yeah,
whole time.
their look's been just like
They've
let's
always
rent
kind of
out
kept
an
that like
abandoned
vintage
building.
look.
It's like a vintage, I like sailor. I don't because they just have like it's not even like sailorish. They just have like random props and paintings on the walls. Yeah, but I mean, my point is, being a fat boy is their chicken has always been good. I'm not gonna lie. Their chicken is sometimes better than their fish. Like 'cause the fish is great, but the chicken's like thicker. Like
Yeah.
like
He likes them
But-
thicker.
No, I'm just
I was
kidding.
thinking that too.
But you know what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
But no, the chicken's always been good. You always
Yeah.
gotta get the chicken and the fish and the clams, boy. And that's the thing. There's no Long John Silver anywhere. But
Yeah.
I'm sure if I make a clip of this, someone's gonna call me fat. So whatever.
Someone, I always see people talking about Long John Silver saying who's keeping them in business.
Probably me.
Probably.
If there was one close by, I would be.
I know.
Be getting them clams and fish and chicken. See, you don't even have to get the carbs. The breading on the stuff is carbs enough. So just carbs and protein, baby.
Yeah, it's something about that batter. Okay, let's stop talking about food.
I know. That was our one food topic per episode.
Yeah, 'cause you
We're gonna-
guys.
Yes. Can't talk too much about food, guys. Let's talk about the complete opposite. Kim K's new Skims.
Oh, man.
Talk about the fur burger.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out why Kim's trying to steal our look.
Hey, man, I've always said I like good bush. I
Like,
always said that should always be the look, but
yeah.
I feel like a lot of things and people that's how it comes back around. Someone like Kim Kardashian making it a trend.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And it all
We're gonna be in
started-
the old bush trend.
It all started with the nipping thing. I thought that was like pretty like, all right, I don't mind that because that's just one of those things. Let me just say this as a girl. Like, two things. Okay, let's say two things I'm not going to complain about. One, or I'm not going to worry about that you're worrying about is that if I'm nipping. Well, what do you expect? Like,
The
what?
nipping trend, that's a trend. I thought that's a natural thing that's happened.
Yes, but like, but
As
that's
a
always
guy
like,
that literally has been nipping my whole life, and people have made comments about
Yeah.
it. See, I never ran.
but when a
for
girl is
sexual
nipping,
assault, when people make comments at work about my nipping,
but when it's a girl nipping, it's like different because it's like, oh, it must be cold in here. It's like, well, okay, yeah. Like, okay, so that, and then two is camel toe.
oh
Because
yeah,
what do you
old moose
expect?
knuckle.
What do you think is down there? That's my argument. Like, why are you shocked?
Well, while we're on this topic, I just think people into like specific things like that is weird. Like people that goon to farts. Like who's just into farting?
What?
We're on the topic.
I need to know from a fart gooner if it's about.
If
if
you're a
it's-
fart gooner, please
I have a
contact us.
question.
We want you on the podcast.
No, I just need to know. Like, is it the smell or is it the sound?
Ew.
I want to know.
You know I have a weak stomach.
I'm sorry.
That's
Okay.
gross. Anyway, I will
There's the
throw
1
up.
minute for fart gooning.
Oh yeah, that's it. We're done with that. We're done with that. Next topic.
But-
Next topic.
Yeah, no, back to just Kim K is just like, yeah, why is she trying to make, like,
Just
she
next
sold
topic
out.
in general. No, go ahead. Okay, I'm
just
sorry.
gonna
Start
say-
all over.
She's, one thing I will say is with, like, to conclude the Kim K thing is that she's just trying to make a buck off of something that, like I said, we've been sporting, I speak for multiple women that we've been sporting for years, and that, like, yeah, some people, I saw one comment was like, why is she selling something I can grow in 1 week? What? That's extremely fast.
Right?
But okay, yeah, that's all I was gonna say on that.
What was this thing that happened to this female streamer at TwitchCon?
Oh my god, I was wondering if you heard about that. I just saw that.
I just saw it today.
Here's the video.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. So basically, wow. So yeah, basically, that guy that pushed
That's a security guard.
her security.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, because I saw this today, I did see a comment where it's like, "Oh, W security." It's like, no, if that was her security guard, why did you like? That was a slow reaction. I'm over here like, oh, if I was her security guard, but you know what I mean. It's like people were that security guard reacted way too slow. He like people were saying there he definitely got some tongue in.
That's really bad.
Yeah.
That's really bad because it is unfortunate because, yeah, it does seem like he does get enough time. Apparently, too, this guy crossed multiple barriers to be able to get to her. So the number one thing is, like, not only was, like, her security slow to act, but TwitchCon apparently has released this statement about the situation, and everybody's saying, like, this so sounds AI because it's, like, this whole apology about how they take their safety of their streamers so seriously, but at the same time, like, apparently it took, like, all day for that guy to be found and arrested. Yeah.
It wasn't right after that?
No.
That was another thing. Like, yeah, maybe, yeah, don't go too far. But the security guard just pushed him and was like, all right, go about your way. It's like, why didn't you try to, like, he literally assaulted her.
Yep.
Like, that's, detain him.
Exactly. And apparently that didn't happen. She's already kind of, like, announced and came back and was just like, yeah, guys, I'm okay. But it was just still kind of, like, really weird.
Like that's and then the people that trying to defend the dude, it's like, oh, it's like, what do you expect? Like, oh, that's all her fans are, and I bet if he looked like Zac Efron, she wouldn't have freaked out. And it's like, dude, you're looking at it the complete opposite way.
Yeah.
Like, what the, like, this is. Put yourself in her shoes, and then maybe they'd like that. See, that's what people are just freaking weird all the way around.
Yeah, it's like no matter what the guy looks like or any sort of detail, it was unwanted and unprovoked.
Yeah,
I don't know
assault.
if I'm using that. It's assault, no matter what.
It's like
yeah.
if she don't ask for it or nothing, and the fact that the way he just like lurched up to her, like what? That's
and honestly, it could have ended a lot worse.
Yes.
Jesus.
You okay?
Yeah. I don't know what
Jeez,
that was.
what was that?
I don't know what that was.
Jeez, did you just get possessed? It's like I did a freaking spirit just go through your nose. You're just like, your eyes just start rolling. Your head starts spinning.
But I was just gonna say that this like whole situation could have been like a lot worse. I'm glad.
There was a point I was gonna make it, but and it's sad that we have, because like I said, those comments were bringing up and stuff. It's sad that we have to go into the discussion of like that's why there's apparently a few other female Twitch streamers that were invited or were asked if they were going to TwitchCon, and they said no.
Yeah.
They declined it because they knew shit like this was gonna happen. And it's like that's sad when you can't even.
They're like worried for their safety.
Yeah, you can't even have a meet and greet with your fans without being worried for your safety.
Yeah.
That just like sucks to, as a guy, like that. That just bums me out. Like that people, you really have to like be in fear like that. Like that's fucked up. On a higher note, McDonald's Monopoly is back.
I did not think that thing would be so addictive.
Well, it's like, okay, like I didn't even think they would ever do it again because there's a whole documentary about that. They're like how, but I guess it was more because it was a person that worked for the company that scammed it. It wasn't McDonald's that was scamming.
Yeah, McMillions.
Yeah,
I just learned that.
But if we're close to like winning what is it? We're close to
we
like
got
winning a boat or something.
An RV Winnebago.
Yeah, there we go.
A Winnebago RV.
A Winnebago and something else like a Polaris.
Yeah.
And
I'm just trying to get a free McChicken.
Yeah, that is the ultimate prize.
Yeah.
Or
the McFlurry. Oh, to be able to get a free McFlurry and then to be able to use it. Oh.
Anyone got Boardwalk and Park Place, hit me up. Or if anyone got Boardwalk, hit me up because we got Park Place.
Yeah.
So we'll split it. We'll split the Winnebago.
We'll take like child support custody of it for the weekend.
Yeah, we'll do a timeshare.
You have it for this weekend.
You have it for you have it here and there. We'll do a timesheet, renting out. I'm renting out the Winnebago this week.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that. But yeah, get your. It's like I don't want to. Yeah, if I say anything about the McDonald's monopoly, it's just gonna sound like we're doing an ad for McDonald's, and they're not paying us. But
Yeah.
you can pay us
Not
McDonald's.
sponsored.
Hit us up, McDonald's. Other than that, what else you got? I mean, it's still hot. It's mid to late October, and it's still hot.
Yeah.
We're just still waiting for it to get cool in Texas.
It was 92 degrees today.
Jesus.
But,
See,
yeah.
this is what I mean. Like the freaking weather, and like, you check the weather, and like I'm like, oh, next week it's finally gonna be under 80, and then it
Yeah.
comes to that day, and like, oh, in 2 days it's gonna be under 90, or whatever, and it's like you check that day, and then it's like still 92, 93. It's like, okay.
No, that would literally be something that I could have been doing for the past. This is like, yeah, past self. I could have been doing this for the past like 3 weeks, but I swear, I could like screenshot, like you said, like the schedule, like the 7-day forecast, like every week, and see that on the day that it says it's gonna be this, it ends
never.
up not being it. So it's like they just throw out numbers at some point, and then it's like not even till the day of, or even the day before, that it'll like change and update. Because there are times when literally like you or me are like, oh my god, we just looked at I looked at the weather app yesterday. It said it's gonna be 87. Here we are, 92 today.
Is being a weatherman even a real job, or what is it called, a meteorologist? Is that even a real job, because you can't even get the damn weather right?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If a mechanic was like, oh, I think it's this in your car, you take your car to a mechanic, and he's like, oh, I think it's this, and you're like, okay, fix it, and he fixes it, and you drive your car, and it's still messed up. It's like, oh, I guessed it was that, but I guess it's something else. So let me, on this day, let me try to fix it now, and then it's still something different. It's like, what?
Yeah.
You know?
It's like,
you wouldn't go to a new mechanic.
Yeah.
So it's like, why do we trust? Why is that even a real occupation if you can't even guess the weather? Okay, we'll guess the weather. Put a freaking thermometer outside. Well, look, I'm a weatherman now.
I'm a weatherman. You get one of those things that fills up the rain with the rainfall, and you're like, okay, we're gonna have about 4 inches of rain today.
Yes, literally. In hindsight, everybody's a weatherman.
Yeah. See, okay, Okay, tell me why.
Who's this bozo?
What?
So you look up meteorologist.
Yeah,
The most
casually
ridiculous
look up
picture.
how does-
Most ridiculous picture.
How
Who the hell
this
is
guy went to school for 4
this
years.
guy went to Turkey for his teeth. Jesus, look at those veneers.
Oh my
You would
god.
just go
Those is
before
white
you-
as, they're as white
just
as
the
the
bullshit.
clouds.
You look at the cloud, look at the sun. This is literally like fucking spitting in your face. They're like, oh look, it's gonna be cool and sunny. Psych, bitch.
Yes, that's why they do that. You know what? I've just figured it out. That's why they do the hand movements.
Why?
You ever seen them when they're going at it with the big? They're like, we're gonna have this over here and this over here. They start doing karate chops. I'm like, whoa, I can't even see the damn map.
Yeah, they're just like guessing. They're just trying to like
They're
freaking.
like, I think it's gonna be in this general area. It's like, what? Yeah, no. 4 years. If you're gonna go to school, I'm sorry. If you're gonna go to school for 4 years to be, it's what it says here. Meteorologist goes to school, 4-year bachelor program in meteorology.
No, but that shit is hard. I took a class on that. That shit is a lot of math and stuff. That's why they probably suck at their math.
Okay, well then in that case, I guess I can be a meteorologist.
Oh gosh. I mean, other than that, yeah, it's still hot. I mean, I remember sweating last year on October.
In our
on
Halloween costumes.
Yes, so it's probably gonna be hot until November. But what can you do? Maybe global warming is real, but then again, I don't. I mean, I'm not saying it's real or it's not real. Don't quote me, but I'm just saying if you can't get the weather right tomorrow or the next day, like what makes you think you know the weather in 50 years? Come on. But no, I'm just kidding. It is getting hotter. The ozone layer, I guess, closed. Remember when we were little, they used to always talk about the ozone layer, and like now we hear nothing about it.
Yeah, they make a big deal about like the trash in the ocean too, but hardly ever hear about that as well.
Well, that's a legit problem. I mean, just our trash in general is a problem everywhere.
Yeah.
But mom's spaghetti, knees weak, arms are heavy.
Oh, Eminem's gonna be a grandpa again.
Arms spaghetti.
Now his other
nervous.
daughter's pregnant.
Oh, really? He has two. Oh,
Haley and
is it Lainey?
Lainey, right?
I only know just because of songs. Yeah,
Yes,
reference
me too.
song references.
Literally, me too. Yeah, it's like Haley.
That was like his adopted daughter, right?
Haley, Lainey, Elena.
Yeah.
I think she's the one.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah,
Good for him.
That's cool. Gramps.
The Gramp M's.
Gramp
I'm ready
M's.
for the M. Yeah, Gramp M stage.
Oh God. Yeah.
Anything you want to end on?
Yeah, I don't
Ow.
think so.
Oh.
You okay?
Yeah.
You got a sticker burr?
The old sticker burr. The old sticker burr. See, I wish I had one to show. I'll put a picture up. What do you call this? We call it a sticker burr. What do you call this where you're from around the world?
Take a
Because,
poll in the comments.
yeah, we have a few new views, a few new subscriptions around the world. If you're not from the United States or from somewhere around the world, we appreciate it. Of all the things you could be watching around the world, you're watching us in little old Texas.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. We appreciate it. But, yeah, other than that.
I will. Can I leave off with a piece of advice? But I'll do it at the very end. Go. You say what you're gonna say.
Oh no, no. Other than that, I was trying to think of something to say in those 2 seconds. So I'm glad you fill in. Go ahead.
Okay. Yes. The only thing I would say is that if you're watching this far, don't goon the farts.
Don't goon the farts. We're ending on that. They're in their music.